Hi, welcome back. So we started seeing DevOps tools training, concepts, hands-on, and all integration with use cases. So as part of today's class, we are going to discuss about how to integrate Kubernetes environment into Jenkins. Okay, as I stated a couple of times, our GitHub ID is Cloud and Lord, and for this DevOps tools training, you stick with DevOps underscore tools underscore training repository. For this class, you can stick with class 18, right? So what we are going to discuss as part of this class. Basically, I have Jenkins server, okay, CA server, and I have Kubernetes infrastructure. Say this is Kubernetes master, and there are a lot of worker nodes. Okay, so all are in cluster, right? Managed by this master, correct? So this Jenkins, I'm a developer. So I am a developer, of course, not bad developer, good developer. So I have my code repository SEM. So as of now, I will go with GitHub. So I am putting some new application code, maybe bug fix or new application code. So Jenkins is, I configured Jenkins. So the moment I committed to source code management, the Jenkins is detecting the changes. Then it is started compile, application compilation, compile and build. So I at the after the build, we are getting war file. So this war file have to first convert as a custom Docker image, right? So what we are doing is we are downloading some existing image, and then we are installing all required packages, and then we are also adding this war file. Then we are creating this as a custom image, Docker image, and then we are pushing back to this custom image, new custom image which we created, push it back to our Docker repository. Now the image, custom image, also available in our hub.docker.com or whatever repository, right? So now what I need, I want this Docker image has to be deployed across the cluster in one new namespace, right? These are all going to be achieved as part of this class, correct? Let's go inside. Before going inside, I want to explain there are three files. One is Docker file, already I created. There is a YAML file which we are going to deploy, use this YAML file to execute and deploy on top of Kubernetes. And procedure is also mentioned in Kubernetes-integration.txt. Before starting this lab, what we need as part of the lab, we need one Jenkins server, okay, which is the CentOS 7, okay, 2 CPU, 4 GB RAM, 2 CPU, 4 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM, right? And another machine, as of now, as part of this learning POC, I am going to create one master, Kubernetes master, only one worker node, but it's not advisable, but we need to just understand the concept, one worker node. This is more than enough to understand the logic, right? So this is going to be Ubuntu 18.0 LTS. This is also going to be Ubuntu 18.0 LTS, but this is CentOS. This is CentOS, CentOS 7. So this is the lab you need to have. You need to have 3 machines, each machine 2 CPU, 4 GB memory. And I'm going to utilize this machine as a Jenkins server. This machine I'm going to configure as a Kubernetes master. I'm going to install and join in the cluster. So this will act as a Kubernetes worker node. So we have 3 machines, right? If you have this capacity in your local laptop, it's fine. As of now, I'm going with Google Cloud. If you have any other cloud also, it's fine. Let's clear out everything. And I have, this is my Jenkins machine. This is my master machine. This is my worker node machine, right? So how to install Kubernetes in master and worker node? Already we have covered the detailed installation step as part of the Kubernetes training module. I have given this link. I'm going to open this in another window. Let's wait. So we are going to install the Kubernetes. I think the link is pointing to Docker. So I will update after this class. So we need to go to Kubernetes. The link is wrong, so I will update it later, but we will go and open the right one. So I'm going the Kubernetes _admin_ training. Come down. There is a class 3 K8s installation. Probably we can update it now itself. Installation.txt. Copy this link. I'm going to edit it. Come down. So there is a link. We need to update it back. So I'm just committing it. So now it's everything is fine. So we are going to install. So this step is going to be one master node, two worker node. But for this class, you stick with one master node, one worker node, because the Google Cloud capacity sometimes is throwing error. So first install Docker Engine. We will copy this. Let's increase the font size. Sudo su switching as a root. And this also increase the font size, switch as a root. So let's first install these commands in both master and worker node. And then we will add the keys in both master node and worker node. Worker node as well as worker node. Now we will add the repository. So we will just add. Also, we will add it in the worker node. Now we will reinitialize the update master node as well as the worker node. And we will install the kubelet and kubectl and kubectl packages. And the same we will do it in the worker node also. Let's wait for a few seconds. And then I want to hold this package because only one machine we are going to convert as a master, right? So first we will make sure everything is on hold. Right, now come down. We will now install the prerequisites before we go ahead and install Docker. And worker node also execute the same. And the keys also has to be added. As part of this step, the keys has to be added as well as the master as well as the worker node. And the repository Docker package mission has to know where to download these packages. So we are adding the relevant repository and we are installing the Docker Community Edition. So we will install the Docker Community Edition as well as the worker node Docker Community Edition. After that, we will add the daemon privilege resource allocation. So we will do it as per the maximum 100 MB size. So we will go here and enter it. Now we will also want to make sure the service should be persistent and check the service status now. So I'm going to run these commands together and check the enable persistent. Also, I'm going to run this and persistent, right? So across reboots. Now, this only has to run in Kube master. So here the master is the Kube master. So here also we need to change one thing. It's not node 1 is the worker node. So don't get confused. There is some typo mistake. So here master machine as Kube master, right? So commit changes. So I am going to create and initialize the cluster. These commands should be executed in only master. So enter it. And safer side, you open Notepad++ or Edit++, keep it so that in case anything goes wrong, you can capture the output, because this output is very important. Let's wait for some time. It's getting created. Let's wait for some time. So after that, we need to configure these three. Basically, we need to copy the admin.conf, which is getting created as part of this creation, to the home directory as a config file, right? So if you copy, that means from the current login, you can start execute the kubectl administrator commands. Yes, it's completed. So better you copy this command, okay, and put it in the node 1, but don't enter. Don't enter, put it, wait for it. And first you need to run the config file commands. Yes. Now you need to go to the ViewNet networking. I am planning to go with ViewNet layer 3 add-on, networking add-on. So copy this, apply in master. So go here, say enter. So we have now everything is fine. But before adding to the cluster, right, go back to your steps and kubectl get nodes, right? So go here, always add watch-n space 1 space whatever command you want. So enter it, wait for it. Now you press enter. Immediately come back to the master and watch this status so that you know what is happening. We have discussed this are all a good way of understanding during the Kubernetes administration. So wait for till the status should be changed as ready. See here, the status is ready. Now you are good to go, right? You are good to go. Now you can come out. Now these are all completed. Now what we have to do is go back to your actual DevOps, come down. This step is over. Now go to Jenkins machine. You need to install the Jenkins. So you have the link, go to this link and configure the Jenkins installation, right? Configure, install one by one. So it's pretty much straightforward. Copy this, go to Jenkins machine. This is my Jenkins machine. First we will switch over as a root, enter it and copy, paste. These are all. Now we are configuring the Jenkins server as we've seen multiple times, but it's okay. We will go with another one more time so that people will understand very concrete. So the more you do a hands-on, the more you understand easily. So the NTP is getting updated. After that, we will configure the environment variables. Let's wait for a few seconds. Yes. And then we will configure the environment variables. Copy this. Okay. And go to that file. Before export path, if you want, I can change the color light. Yes. So now I'm going with the insert mode and say write and quit, enter. So I don't want to go log off and log in. So without log off and log in, source it, MVN version. Let's check. Yes. And now we need to configure the Jenkins repository because machine doesn't know where to download the packages. So we are instructing the machine. And then we have to add the Jenkins key. Yes. We have to add it. And then installing the Jenkins. That's fine. And ensure the service persistent and started and check the status. Right? So everything is fine. Now come to the, what is this IP address? Go back. This is the Google Cloud console. So Jenkins IP address is, this is the IP address. So go to duplicate, or you can put it here, :8080. Now you copy this and go back here. Wait for it. So the Jenkins console, copy this, first time unlock, go here, say cat, the password. So copy this, go back to this and unlock it. Say continue. The initial plugins has to be installed. Yes. Always the infrastructure you can divide as much possible so that each Jenkins infrastructure should be independently executed. Your Kubernetes infrastructure should be independently executed. Your monitoring. So the more you separate each tool's infrastructure logically or physically, the more you can avoid a lot of failures. But of course, all this infrastructure going to work together. But the more you separate, the more you can feel less administrative headaches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make it very simple. Cloud and Loud at cloudandloud.com. Say save and continue. Save and finish. So now we are going to configure a couple of things very quickly. Go back to your Jenkins. So we need to install a couple of mandatory plugins. Go to manage Jenkins, come down, manage plugins, available. Go here, dashboard view, click, and then build the pipeline. Build the pipeline. So, and then deploy to container. Deploy to container. Okay, so now install. Once it's installed, we also need to configure Java, Maven, and JIT. Okay, go back to the home dashboard. Go back to manage Jenkins. Go back to global tool configuration. Now add JDK. I don't want to go with automatic. So Java 1.8.4. In a previous class, I also explained how to go with Java 11. So if you want, you can refer the previous classes. Java home, user lib, JVM, Java 1.8.0. And then Maven. Maven also, I don't want to go with automatic installation. Maven 3.5.4. And then Maven home. Maven home also, you can go with user local Apache Maven. So that's all. So we are good to go. Say save it. Now one more we need to do it as part of this step. So we have configured everything. So create user in Kubernetes master machine, right? So we install this package first in master Kubernetes, install it. Okay, already installed. It's fine. So come down. We are going to add the user, but the user home directory should be var lib Jenkins, right? If you have different functional user ID in your project, but replace with the same logic, but the logic is same. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make it very simple. Yes. Now Jenkins user ID created with this, the same home directory what Jenkins server is having. Now, if you want, you can verify it. Cat etc password. Cat etc password. Yes. So the home directory is var lib Jenkins, right? So now you need to add Jenkins to Docker, right? I will tell you why. So you need to add it. So if you want, you can verify it's added or not. Group. There is a typo. Group. Yes, Docker group now having the Jenkins user, and you can run as a Jenkins, login as a Jenkins. First, you instead of reboot, run Docker info. If you are able to do it, then no need. Sometimes after reboot only it's taking effect. Say Docker info, no need to reboot. And also we need to copy this file. We need to copy this file, right? Go here. So we can copy this. Okay, because this directory is not permitted with Jenkins, it's fine. So there is a small addition. Go back to your root. Go back to your root. So now copy etc Kubernetes admin.conf var temp. Copy it. So now you log in as a Jenkins as usual. Okay, instead of this, okay, you can put it in var temp. So small change. So we are going to give it I'm just giving some full permission so that it won't throw any error. Basically, we need that file so that from Jenkins itself we can execute all kubectl commands. Okay. Now you run kubectl get nodes. Remember, we are in Jenkins user, but we are able to execute this. This also one of the things. Docker info command also should be executed as a Jenkins login. Plus kubectl commands also should be executed in Jenkins login, right? So now we are in Kubernetes master. That's all. So we will proceed. If you want, I can also add this command, change mode 77 var temp /admin .conf, and also copy etc kubernetes /admin.conf to var/temp. So I can replace this right away so that you no need to get any error. Come down. So there is a small change, you can apply it. So let's go this commands before as a root, then you switch over as a Jenkins, then you can run. Okay, now I'll commit it. So ensure the Docker info command and kubectl command you are able to execute as a Jenkins user. Now, the one more problem is, as a cloud machine, there is no direct SSH enabled, right? So we need to enable SSH in Jenkins as well as the master Kubernetes. So first we will go with the Jenkins. We will open this file. Remember, the Jenkins server is CentOS. So password authentication should be yes. So I'm just commenting it out, and I am uncommenting it out. Password authentication yes. So bounce the service, SSHD service, restart. Now the same thing you have to do it, vim slash you need to be a root. So I'm coming out of the Jenkins user, vim the sshd config, come down. Remember, this is Ubuntu, so there is only one password authentication no. So you have to change this. Either you can comment it out and type the same with yes option, or else you can replace no with yes. Go here and say service sshd restart. Now everything is fine. So now we have to go with the Jenkins machine and as a Jenkins user. So first we will log in as a Jenkins user in Jenkins machine. So Jenkins machine as a Jenkins user, SSH keygen, enter. Now I have created as a password. So now we need to SSH copy ID. It's not Docker. What is the machine name of Kubernetes? It's a master, right? So replace this with master. So let us change one more correction here. Go here. It is good actually, because while you do practice, you can have all these errors which will understand what is exactly going on. So basically you can set any machine name, but this should be a Kubernetes machine name. So for me, it's a master. So you need to specify a master machine name. So we are about to copy and say yes. And what is the password? 1 2 3 4 5. We are able to add it. So now you run and do a SSH. Now it should go without password. Yes. See, now Jenkins at master. If you want, you can say host name. It's a master. So now I'm coming out. So there is no password anymore. Now you also need to run this command from Jenkins user, right? Again, you log in SSH master. It will log in as a Jenkins. Now you need to run this command so that it will create the password in the config.json. So I am using my password of my hub.docker.com. See, so now I will come out. Now you need to configure the Jenkins to first make sure you are able to publish it. Go back, manage plugins. There is a plugin called publish over SSH. So type publish over SSH. So install this plugin. Wait for a few seconds. The dependency and all getting installed. So now go back to dashboard. Go back to manage Jenkins. Go back to configure system. Okay, come down. Find out the area where the publish over SSH section. Go to that section. Where is that? Yes. So now you go here, add servers, right? So you can give a name. I'm going to say Kube master. Okay, server or whatever it is, right? host name is master and username is Jenkins and remote directory is var lib/Jenkins, right? And advanced. Okay, so you can use the password or key. Mostly in production, we will use as a key, but right now we will use as a password, which we set it up during this creation. So now you can say test configuration. The test configuration is success. So now everything is fine. Say save. So that's all. Most of the things are completed now. So again, I'm repeating it. We have Jenkins Linux machine. This is the Jenkins, right? CentOS. So this is the my Kubernetes master. This is the my Kubernetes worker node, right? So we have installed all the Kubernetes packages. We have installed all the Docker packages in both master and worker node and created a cluster here, right? And join this machine as a cluster. And so this is fine. So when I say kubectl get nodes, both are started showing ready, which means I'm good to go. Now, as part of the integration, I need to create a Jenkins user here. Yes, I have created and I have set the password. Yes, I have set the password. And then we need to give the privilege Jenkins user to Docker group. So I'm able to run all Docker commands. Also, I need the admin.conf file in the Jenkins user ID home directory so that this Jenkins user also can capable to run Kubernetes admin commands, kubectl. So that's all you can have it. Now, we also need to attach this environment to Jenkins machine. So simply install publish over SSH plugin. Okay, and also you enable SSH here, you log in here, create a SSH keys and exchange it. From here, I should not ask any password if I want to log in my Kubernetes master. Then install this plugin, use this plugin, use this username password or key to map it and say test successful. That's it. So now we will proceed it. So now what we need is we need one sample application. We are having one simple Java application. Go to this application repository maven_demo, copy this, right? Go back to your Jenkins, go back to your pipeline, new pipeline, say for example, just app build. That's all. Just you need to build the app, say Maven project. Next pipeline, we will go with actual integration. Come down, say JIT, say repository URL, come down. So everything is fine. Maven, pam.xml, everything is created. Say save. Now, if I say build now, what is happening? I'm a developer. I created a code, pushed it to my SEM, right? SEM, source code management, right? So source code management is configured with my CA server, Jenkins, right? So it's detecting the changes, started compile and build, and then the war file is getting created. This is the first step. We need to prove it. Let's go back to the log. Let's see what is the log. Come down. Let's wait for a few seconds. So now it is taking the compile, it is taking the build, it is about to create the war file, web application archive, right? Wait for a few seconds. So see here, there is a war file created where the workspace. So let's go take this directory and with file, go back to your Jenkins machine, say ls. Now this game of life war got created. Now this is my master, Kubernetes master, right? So I want to log in as a Jenkins user. ls-ltrh present working directory. See here, there is nothing is there, right? Now, what we have to do is, I am a developer, right? This is my source code management, SEM. I am pushing some new code. Jenkins server, this is my Jenkins, detecting the changes, compile it, right? And then build it, right? And then it is creating the .var file, right? So now I have the new application. This application has to be transferred to my Kubernetes environment, right? Once transferred from here, using the Docker file, this var file has to be associated with the custom image, and after customized, it has to push it back to your Docker repository. After that, you have to create a namespace. You have to use this image and create a pod on top of Kubernetes cluster. This is exactly we are going to do it now. Let's go inside, go back to the steps, create a new pipeline. Okay, we will go and create a new pipeline. Okay, new item. This time I am going to deploy on K8s cluster, right? Create application, customize application, create a custom image and push back to that. From that pushed custom image, create a deploy on top of Kubernetes cluster. Say okay. And what is the application? Our repository maven_demo. Yes, copy this. Go back here, GitHub here, and come down, build it. After post build action, okay, publish send build artifacts over SSH. Click this, and Kube master server, we have added this machine and source file. What is the source file? So this is the source file because we are going to get the var file. So give it, and I don't want this directory structure. Otherwise, what will happen is, if you go to this Kubernetes master, it will create here the directory var lib Jenkins. Then it will create game of life -web directory under target directory. Under that, the var file will be created. I don't want to go for that directory structure. I want to remove it. So remove this. I just want one var file in root my home directory. Copy this, come down, and then execute command. So I want to explain this execute command, right? So either you can create a Docker file there, but that is not an actual automation, right? If you go this repository itself, I have placed two files. One is the Docker file and the game file. Right click, and YAML file also I'm right clicking. Always I stated a couple of times during Docker training classes and Kubernetes training classes, always take the raw. Click raw, take this URL. And the same way, the game.yaml. Actually, this is the part creation and exposing the service in 32001 port. Right here also, click raw and take this URL. If you now observe the command which I created, come down, see, this is exactly the same. I'm copying this command, putting it to Notepad. That is why I opened the Notepad, right? Okay, so there is a typo. So I'm just going to copy this alone, this one line alone, and put it in the Notepad. See here, let us split out each command. There is a lot of commands here. So let's go and explain one by one. I will explain it. Sleep it and say Docker push and then kubectl. Okay, see here. One, I want to go to my home directory. Okay, because in this home directory only I mentioned game of life var have to be copied, right? So I'm instructing that go to the directory and download this Docker file. Now go back to your Docker file. What is that Docker file? I clearly mentioning in the current directory there is a var file. Take that var file and download the Tomcat image and associate this var file inside the Tomcat image, and then create a custom image. Go back to the step. Now, to do this, there will be some time it will take, right? Downloading the Docker file. So I'm putting sleep the 30 seconds and then building, right? The Docker file downloaded. So dot means Docker file. So before that, we need to create this repository in our Docker registry, right? So this also will take some time. So that is why again, I'm putting sleep 30 seconds. And Docker push also will take some time. Better you also add this sleep 30 seconds, which I forgot. So which we are going to edit it now, the step. There are a couple of things we need to, but anyway, I will do here itself. I will copy then so that you will have confidence, because the command, whatever I am going to give it to you, it will work. So because the Docker push also will take some time. So by the time it should wait, it should not start again, right? So sleep also should run after push the image, right? After that pushed, now you can apply directly the game.yaml. What is the game.yaml? So it's clearly saying the image which we post again have to be downloaded and executed, and the port is 8080. So the port 8080, we are mapping it to 32001 and exposing it. This is exactly we are going to do it. Come down, commit changes. Now I'm going to take the exact command what I modified so that you will get the confidence this command will work. Copy this. Let's make sure we are not into anything. So I'm going to copy this again to make sure I haven't copied anything rubbish. So sleep 30 seconds, sleep 30 seconds, and sleep 30 seconds. Yes. So now we are going to copy this and go for the pipeline and say here. Hope you are now getting the good understanding. Now go here, say save. Before I execute, you need to do a couple of things. Go to your master, right? Watch -n1, right? kubectl get all. What is the namespace? How do I identify the namespace? In your game.yaml, there is a namespace, Facebook, right? So go here, n namespace, Facebook -o wide, right? If you want more understanding, better open one more master SSH window. I will say why. So go here, wait for some time, and you can run the similar command but with a different one. So copy this and go here. So let's copy this here and go here and say first we will log in as a Jenkins user, su this user. From that user we will try to log in. Nowadays it's taking some time. Let's wait for a few seconds. So the SSH is about to establish the connection. Yes. So this is the master. I am going to say sudo su now root. Now we can log in as a Jenkins. So there is a one more command. If you want more understanding, you can run instead of this command. Okay, get all, get ns namespace. I'll tell you. See, right now there is no namespace is happening, right? So when I click this trigger, say build now, you need to keep monitor this one. Okay, no resources found because Facebook is not there. So the Facebook will be first created and will come in this output. The moment then it will start create all the resources, right? So go here, say build now, and before now it will fail. Why? Because our Docker hub.docker.com doesn't have the game, right? So let's wait, it will fail. Definitely it will fail. So let's go to the logging. Probably if you want, we can stop this also. Anyway, it will fail. So we will say stop. Yes, I want to stop. I will go back to this hub.docker.com because this step I already given. Go to above. I given very clearly there is a hub.docker.com. Let's say game. Okay, you can, I'll add it. Basically, you need one repository called game because that is where we are pushing. So game as the repository name, say create. Now we have the working repository. Now you go back to your Jenkins, say build now. Now it will work. Wait for a few seconds. The log will be there. So we can open the log. Now it's downloaded and compiling it and building it. And then it will create a WAR file. That WAR file will be moved to Kubernetes infrastructure. Then from there, using the Tomcat image, it will download it and then it will install the necessary packages. And then see here, the WAR file got created. Now the WAR file is moving to Kubernetes infrastructure. And then we will go back here, wait for some time. So it has to create. And also you go back to your Docker hub.com, right click, say reload. There should not be anything now pushed. After push, you can see here, there is a version 1.0. Let's wait for the log. You need to keep move around yourself. So let's go back to hub.docker.com, reload. If you want, you can run another command also, Docker images. So instead of this command, you can also say Docker images. So yes, this custom image got created. Of course, we will quickly go and check namespace, wait for the log. So it is about to create the namespace. Let's go back to hub.docker.com, right click, say reload. If it is pushed, within 30 seconds, it has to start everything. Wait for it. So go back to your hub.docker.com and reload the repository. Yes, see here, there is a push is happened. So after 30 seconds, it should immediately start the namespace creation. See here, there is a Facebook namespace creation. Immediately go here, wait for some time. This output will start now. So this output should start immediately now because the resource creation will start here. Let's again run this command, Facebook. So there is some error. So there is a sleep command we have missed. So now it's okay. So now I'm doing the build now again. So let's go and check. Let's wait for the things. So now it's connecting to the master server. Go here. So there is a pod is running on 32,001. So what is the server IP address? Your server IP address is master server IP address. This is the IP address. So go here. So colon 32,001/game of life. Copy this URL. Go here and paste it. Enter. See here. So now we created one code, maven_demo Java code, and we have compiled it, build it, and then using that war file, we also created a Docker image file. That image file pushed back to the Docker registry. Using that registry stored custom image, we have deployed on top of Kubernetes cluster. Say here, wait for some time. We are updating it. So this URL also I given in game of life. So this IP address you can change it with as per your mission IP address. Let's wait for some time. The UI is taking some time. It has to come for success. See, success. So again, what we will do is we will do one thing. We will go here, kubectl delete, right? -f. What is the file name? We can also say delete ns Facebook, right? So if I delete the Facebook, automatically the inside all part services, everything will be cleaned up, right? Wait for it. There is no resources, right? Wait for a few seconds to make sure everything is fine. So again, we are going here. We are going to trigger the Jenkins pipeline. The pipeline should recreate this stuff again, right? Wait for few seconds. Let's run the namespace again. Wait. So again, it is downloading. Assume there is some changes in the code. So the trigger is happening, compile, build, and then creating the war file, and then the war file is getting moved to Kubernetes infrastructure. Using that war file, we are creating custom Docker image, and the image has to be pushed to your Docker registry. From the Docker registry, we are creating a pod on top of the Kubernetes cluster. Let's wait for some time. So there is no resources. So wait, let me load it. How much time? So there is a push. So let's wait for a few more seconds. So if you have any issues, the sleep seconds you keep increase, because sometimes depends on the image, the sleep seconds has to be increased, because sometimes the smaller image size will be pushed immediately, but sometimes the larger image push will take a little bit more longer. So You just keep try and increase. Right now I increased 60 seconds this. So let's go back here, go back the namespace. Wait for a few more seconds. Yes, the Facebook is getting created. Now see the pod is running now 32,001. So go back here, see it's got success, right? It's got success. So go here, execute it, it will work. So 32,001. So pod is exposed as a service to this port. So this is how you need to logically, the more you separate, but with your control, the more you can have